Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. This day, Bermuda is supported by Pete's House and Adiana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert, and we want to thank you for waking up bright and early with us on this Tuesday morning. Jack, before we get into our trending topic of the day, how was your weekend?
Good. Had a really good weekend.
So massive with the, and then she just said good.
No, because I was just I feel great. I had a good weekend. It wasn't anything too hectic. Friday a little happy hour. Saturday went dinner with some girlfriends, and then Sunday I had one of my nephew's birthday parties after work. And I went to the games, so that was very exciting.
Oh, which games did you go to?
The track the track meet.
Okay, like which ones did you see?
Track and field because there were no field events. So
just track events.
Yeah. A little disappointed because I love me some relay and I didn't have relay, but I expected it, I guess, because it seemed more like a individual team thing.
Oh, like event? Like it was just for individual sports. Got you covered.
But people were representing the country at the same time, I want to say.
Yeah. Got you. Okay. Well, that's good. Seems like you had a eventful-ish weekend.
Yeah, kinda. Like some parts were low-key, and then I feel like Saturday was probably my busiest day because I had work almost right up until I had to go dinner. But it was so decent. And then I had work, then I had track, and then I had dinner.
Got you covered.
It was perfectly spaced out. Except for where it was raining, and I was just like, I rode my bike down. I have to ride it back home.
Yep.
Am I riding in the rain, or am I making somebody drive me back up the country? Because
I
didn't bring it because it wasn't raining at the time. It was decent weather. Yeah.
Well, that's how I got sick. So kids, always take your rain suit or make sure you have proper gear to keep yourself protected, because I got caught in that rain not last week Sunday, the Sunday before, and my team lifted the trophy, and I've been down since Wednesday. I'm feeling much better. I just have a stuffy nose. So, thankfully, all of that has passed. It was rough, though. I could tell you it was rough. Looks like we have Sean Smith in the audience. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're in the audience, let us know where you're watching us from. Give us a greeting, because Jacky and I are going to start today's show off with our trending topic of the day. Now, actually, I'm really glad that you mentioned that you went to the games this weekend, Jack, because that is part of our trending topic for today. So it was a wonderful weekend and upcoming week for Bermudian athletes. Jacky, as she mentioned, she went to the games on Sunday. Was it just Sunday that the events were held?
Saturday.
Oh, so it was Saturday.
It was Friday night, where I think the kids were able to participate. And then, because I didn't know about Friday night until Saturday when I started looking at people's
updates,
like social media posts. Yeah. And I was just like, hold on, what's this? And I'm like, oh, off the track. I'm like, I didn't know about that part. I would have popped by, cheered on some of the kids, stuff like that. But so apparently it was Friday, and I think there might have been a little bit of it for Saturday morning, like the final for the kids were Saturday morning. But I don't think there was anything on the Sunday, but there's definitely Friday, Saturday
for the kids.
And the main event was Saturday afternoon from 3:30 to 5:30 or 3.
So you did your work, the games, and then dinner on Saturday?
Right.
Okay. I was like, wait, she said she did it on Sunday. No, you did it all on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. So at dinner my social clock went.
Yeah, you was tired. But I wanted to come to this topic because it looks like a lot of people had a lot to say when it comes to the performance of athletes over the weekend. So I want to get your thoughts on the performance of our athletes overall. And we're talking about this because, in case you didn't know, tonight Bermuda's national team play at National Stadium against Grenada. It is, I think, one of the first times they're playing at home. At this level. So if you don't already have your tickets are still being sold. I think you can get them on ptix.bm. You can also go to the BFA offices to get tickets. So if you still don't have a ticket and you want to get out there and cheer our ladies on, make sure you do that. Now, Jacky, you saw the games over the weekend. So I do want to get your opinion. Like because I know you're an athlete. So putting your athlete experience aside, what are your thoughts on the way our athletes have been performing lately?
I think they performed well. I did see a tweet where it was just like somebody that got third place, like acting like they got first. And I need people to understand that if you're home, you're not being able to put your 100% focus into your sport, your career, whatever. When I say career, like your sport.
Mm-hmm.
You can't train like everybody else is training, but you're still able to hold your corner and place. That is huge, because it's just like, I didn't even give 100% and I still placed top 3 or top 5, where I was even able to qualify to compete in
Yeah.
And can you imagine if my country or I was even able to, even if an organization was able to sponsor me for 3 months so I can focus 100% in my training for 3 months. Could you imagine what these could have done?
Yeah. If you're just joining us.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want to remind people, if you're just joining us, Jacky is sharing her thoughts on the performances of Bermudian athletes recently. If you didn't know, last weekend, there were the Bermuda Games. There were a lot of track events at National Sports Center. Jacky mentioned there was some children events on Friday and into the morning of Saturday, and then the main events were Saturday afternoon. And she did share that, there was a tweet that was circulated. A lot of people quoted that tweet and had a lot to say about.
I was disappointed in the person that tweeted it, because I feel like they've experienced it. They're an athlete as well, and they should know how hard it is to not be able to train, but still be able to perform at a high level and keep up with those whose job it is to eat, drink, sleep that sport.
There was a lot around that too. I felt like part of it was facetious. Like part of it was to like rock the boat and like, stir the pot. I feel like a part of it was also slightly a jab at the organizations that can support people at that level to get them to that level, because I feel like it did kind of come across as like we celebrate third place as if it's first because that's all we can get. But I feel like the person was trying to like bring light to the fact that, but we could be more, like we could be first. That's kind of how I felt. That's one way I took it as well. And then I did take, everyone's point where it's like, bro, like these people, I didn't think Flora mentioned it in one of her recent interviews. She said like she wakes up, she eats a certain meal, she goes and trains for so many hours, she comes home, eats another meal or does whatever she does, then she goes back out and does another set of training. Like when she was talking about like her gold medalist being in the Olympics, like she was saying like I had for the last however many months she shared, this was been her regimen. Like this is all she and her husband have been focused on which is her coach, have been focused on for X amount of months leading up to the Olympics, or maybe even years, right? So I feel like it's one of those things where it's like celebrate the wins, like celebrate every win. I think sometimes we don't celebrate the little wins because they're not as big as first place or whatever the case may be. But I feel like we talk about,
like, I remember being at CAC games. I had to play a girl that was top 300 in the world. And I was able to, my thing is when I'm playing against somebody who is a professional tennis player, that's all they do. I'm home, I'm coaching, I'm working multiple jobs. I don't get to train as much. I'm not in the gym as much as this person, but I'm able to keep them out on the court for more than an hour or an hour and a half. And I'm getting games. That's huge, because this is what this person is doing. Like their routine is eat, train, nap in between, train, nap. Like they are on a strict
regimen. Yeah.
And I can't actually do that, because so now my mind is everywhere else. Them being able to pull the trigger isn't the same as mine because I coach. So my thing is give them one more ball, because that's what I've been doing with, some of my hitting students.
Mm-hmm.
And one more ball so that they can get that consistency over and over and over again. And so some people don't realize that you have to actually flip that switch from, oh, I'm just gonna give you one more ball, to
no, I gotta go.
Like kill, finish the ball, execute, like
kill or be killed on the
court. People don't realize what it takes, and so to criticize but not actually be in that position is always weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually know what it feels like. It's easy to look at that and be like, You could have done so much better. How you didn't jump further, why you didn't jump higher, how you missed that ball, how you missed that girl, why you aren't pushing yourself. And it's just like, why are you criticizing me when all I'm giving you 150% and you're telling me that it's still not enough, instead of saying, whoa, know what that person does and what you do, and to be able to keep up with them, that's huge. How can I support you so that you're capable of putting in at least closer to the amount of time and effort that they're putting and training that they're putting in versus just criticizing?
Another thing as we wrap up, another thing as we wrap up, I wanted to touch on was like, for the Bermuda Day race, like everyone cheers everyone on. Like there's never a moment. I mean, maybe there is people, I just don't hear them. I've only done it once, so I can't really say. But you never heard people like upset that you came last or that you're taking forever. Or
I mean, I had somebody that was just like, why are you walking, move fast? And I was like actually walking through a whole leg cramp, and I was just like, you want to come run it? Because I just ran 13 miles and I'm just got a little bit left to go, and you could take it over. And they're just like, oh, no, I am doing a great job. That's amazing. You should have started with that.
You should have led with that.
If I'm walking, I'm still moving.
The collective, and I guess it's kind of one of those things too, like even as we wrap up on social media, there was a collective positivity around this person that came third, but it's always like the one negative Nancy that gets like the loud megaphone, and it just gets like reshared, shared over and over, quoted, etc. on social media, that it becomes like the main focus of the weekend. But I think overall, all of our athletes did well over the weekend. All of the athletes, not just our athletes, did well. And then sending good luck, good vibes, all of that to the women's national team this evening as they play against Grenada is going to be a really different type of energy on the island. So if you don't have a ticket to go see that game, make sure you get one, because I think it's going to be, I'm not going to go because I'm not feeling well, so I don't want to get the island sick.
At 7:30, so
I hope it's live streamed so that we can watch it, because I will definitely watch it online. Looking at the time, Jack and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our guest of the day. We're going to let you know who we're talking with after this commercial break, so make sure you stick around to find out who that is. Jack and I will be right back.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pete's House and Ariana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. And if you're just joining us, please make sure you take a minute to share this episode wherever you're watching, because we're about to get into our focus topic of the day. We are talking with Sandra Warner of the Habitat for Humanity right here in Bermuda. And this is an interesting conversation that we're going to have today, because Jacky and I wanted to talk about this a long time ago. It just never really fit into the schedule, or we just never really found a good opportunity for us to talk about it. And since we're talking about financial literacy, well, we have been talking about financial literacy this month, I do think this is a really good time to bring up this particular topic, because I feel like one of the things that finances, the more you have, allows you to do is give back to the community a bit more. And I feel like once we kind of get ourselves in a really good space when it comes to our finances, we give more, and then, we share more love, so we don't see all those negative tweets on Twitter. So without further ado, Jack and I want to welcome today's guest into the conversation. We have Sandra Warner of the Habitat for Humanity. Good morning, Miss Sandra.
Good morning. Good morning. And how are you this morning?
We are well. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I'll tell you the truth. I was up most of the night because I'm not technically up to date. Actually, I'm challenged, so I didn't know what to expect.
Well, you're doing a great job. You got on. I saw you pop in, and I was just like, oh, perfect timing.
Now, let's get started with this conversation. So can you give us a little bit of backstory for the Habitat for Humanity, that for those that may not know who may have just seen the name but never really knew what you guys do? Can you share with us how it got started?
Okay. Habitat Bermuda is an affiliate of Habitat International. Now, Habitat International, they started in Georgia. God, years ago by Millard Fuller, and Jimmy Carter got wind of it and really pushed the whole concept of helping those who could not help themselves, in that they built homes for those who were not, that the banks would not even look at. Of course, they had to have a certain income level because they had to work. We built the homes, and then they had a mortgage to pay. However, it was interest-free. Now, who has ever heard of an interest-free mortgage? The only thing they are charged is what we had to pay for constructing the home. Now, Habitat Bermuda was affiliated in 2000, and Jimmy Carter's son actually worked in Bermuda at the time, and he brought us into the affiliation in 2000. Since 2000, we have, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Bermuda is too expensive. We cannot build a house for anyone. You know? So our main goal is to renovate for those who cannot do the renovations for themselves. Now, having said that, we've done well over 100 renovations since the year 2000. Excuse me. The biggest project that we have ever done was the old Pembroke Rest Home that we transformed into the Transformational Living Center for families. That's on Parsons Road, the old right across from the playground. But with that, we partnered with the Women's Resource Center. They did all of the back end work. We did all of the renovations. Now that we gave them the key in the end of December to the TLC, Women's Resource Center is implementing different programs for the ladies that are there, and that is for homeless women and their children. The place can take up to 10 families plus a maintenance person who is, there's a separate little area for the maintenance person. Now that we've finished that, and it took us 2.5 years to do that because of COVID, shut down. And it was estimated that it would cost us $1.3 million to do that. And we came in about 40% less than that, even though we had not exactly. We had not
expecting more.
We had not anticipated we had to do a new tank. We had to completely rewire the place. We had to completely replumb the place. I mean, these were things that we did not
foresee,
allow for. Yeah. And yeah, especially a new tank. There were already 2 tanks there. But anyhow, we because of the different businesses, we had a company give us solar panels. They installed solar panels for free. Our asphalting came in 1/3 of one of the quotes that we had received. A lot of companies just gave us, and we're just so thankful how Bermuda came together to make this happen. Now, I had to do a lot of fundraising as well.
Mm-hmm.
um, and the exempt companies came through. They came through for us. A lot of businesses came through. We got $100 from individuals. We got $50 from another, and everything. It all added up, and we're just so thankful for Bermuda for pulling together and making this wonderful dream happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. Because when I think of Habitat for Humanity, when I grew up, I heard about people that would fly to other countries.
Exactly.
Obviously, it was part of different schools. Schools were pulled together, or obviously organizations were pulled together to go build in other countries.
Yes.
So it's obviously we live in Bermuda, so we know it's expensive. We kind of know what's happening. But what is happening that you're able to hold, and you're helping 10 plus families in Bermuda? Because like I said, we're so used to hearing you guys flying overseas, but now we're working on home. It is nice to hear that we're working on home, but like, what's happening in Bermuda that we need to have this happen here?
Well, you can go online and either volunteer, or you can fill out an application form online. And for those who do not have the means of going online, we have applications that you can pick up at the Restore. I'll get into the Restore later. However, every dime that we collect stays right here in Bermuda. So, you don't have to worry about your money going overseas, because there are so many families in Bermuda living in derelict situations, awful situations. Some of the pictures that they send us, because when they do the applications, they send us pictures as well. And some of the pictures that you see would just make you cry. There are people living in damp homes with no electricity, no plumbing here in 2022 in Bermuda. And a lot of these people are working. You would never know that about their home situations when you see them out there. A lot of people, they can't afford to pay the rents or the mortgage. Their children are going homeless or hungry. And with that transformational living center, that was for homeless women and their children. And the women don't go to financial services because Child and Family Services would take the children away if they knew that they didn't have a home. Mm-hmm. So they sleep in their cars. They have tents in the family yard, or they're up in the bushes somewhere. But there are lots of Bermudians who are homeless or who are living in deplorable conditions.
That's actually really shocking to note, because we not only talk about how expensive it is to live in Bermuda, but we talk about how wealthy Bermuda is, and just that the fact that the wealth gap is so big that there is a group of people on the island that still work full time or still have means of income and still can't afford to live in a sustainable home. Like, they're not looking to live in luxury, just a home. It's really wild to hear you say that and know that that's a reality. Like, to know that it's not like, 10 years ago, this is how it is, but we've since changed that. Like, it's actually someone's reality right now. And we could probably, like you say, have passed them recently and not even realize that that person has needed assistance or has chosen not to get assistance for whatever reason. And I wanted to come back to your funding, because you mentioned you did fundraising, you mentioned the exam companies kind of came through. We have an audience question. Sean Smith wants to know, do you receive any grants from government?
Not one dime. Not a dime.
I think that's interesting. Like, so I guess I want to, like, I don't know, Jack, if you want to pipe in, because you look like you have something you want to say.
I have a lot to say. I don't know how to articulate it, because it's very unfortunate that the government that is supposed to be taking care of their people is, I don't know if they're out of touch or they just don't care to like, are they backing other organizations? I'm just trying to figure out why they're not backing this one that is doing so much, because you're saying that you have transformational homes, which in my mind, it makes me think that you're maybe educating or teaching these women tools to help them actually move out of the home versus just stay put. So
well, that's
that if I had the funds, and I love to work to make sure I can give back. Like, one of my biggest things is I want to earn more so I can help more. And I just don't understand how, if you see something like this that is not trying to make these people so dependent, but more so independent while getting assistance, why you wouldn't want to back that or give us some type of financial assistance to this program.
Well, see, the government has the Bermuda Housing Corporation. So that's where all of their attention goes. And I can't speak for anything other than that, as far as government backing is concerned, because they do Housing Corporation. And getting back to what you just said about with that transformational living center down on Parsons Road there, what the Women's Resource Center is doing is they're like, some people are doing their GED.
Right.
I think one person is doing a culinary arts course up at the Bermuda College, and this is what they're pushing for, to upgrade the folks so that they become more employable, better employable. We had a company that also furnished them with Wi-Fi there, so they can become computer literate, and they're teaching them how to interview and the whole 9 yards. The plan is for them to be there for a year to 18 months. And after that time, they're teaching them savings as well. After that time, they can move on. So
I want to ask a question about volunteering, but I just wanted to share this. It reminds me of, there's a place in Atlanta called My Sister's House. It's connected to the Atlanta Mission. And so when I was in grad school, I had 2 days off a week where I didn't have to work. And so I was looking for a place to volunteer, and I can't remember how I started volunteering there, but I did. And it was a similar situation where there were women that were homeless in the Atlanta area, and they had to apply. They had like certain rules that they had to follow, to stay in the home. And it too, they had like, they had plans. I don't think they had like a specific number of time that they had to stay there, but I also didn't get that deep into the admin. I just worked in the kitchen. But I remember like hearing these women's stories around like how they got to the places that they got to, and how they were like really trying to get back on their feet. And there weren't that many women at the Atlanta Mission, My Sister's House, but just knowing the amount of people in Atlanta that were homeless, and just this small population is just now getting a way to kind of move to the next level. What I wonder is like, what are some of the volunteer opportunities for people that may be listening today and want to like, can't give money, but can give time? Because that was my struggle. I was a college student, so I didn't have much money to give, but I had a whole lot of time.
Well, excuse me. We have the sites where the construction people are working. Our team were working. If we need somebody to or a group to help and clear the yards, people's yards, or help with painting. We have those opportunities available. And also, we have the Restore. We opened Habitat Restore June of 2020. 2020. This is 2022. Yeah, June of 2020. And we're looking for volunteers to come and work in the Restore. All you got to do is just sit there and sell the stuff that's there. We have, since we've opened that Restore, Bermuda has come through once again. We're at the Blocks building, the old Blocks building on Front Street, right across from Milan.
Yeah, the green building, correct?
The green building.
Right at Old Boys Point as you're coming out.
Yes, yes. Everything in there is donated. Everything. The only thing that's there that's consignment is the art of local artists. We were trying to push the local artists as well. So that's it. So if you see Gombe's in the window or stuff like that, that's on consignment. But they're all local artists. Everything else is donated. Now we need volunteers. Mm-hmm. And we understand that Bermudians have to get out there and work, so they can't be volunteering. We're open from 10 to 4, Monday through Saturday, and we need all the help we can get as far as volunteers are concerned. We need people to help to log in the stuff that comes in and ticket them and just straighten up for us. We had a group, an exempt group, come in and paint the inside of the building for us in the Restore about a month or so ago. And one of the gentlemen, excuse me, who worked at an exempt company was an electrician by trade before he got into finance. So he upgraded all of our lighting for us, and we're so thankful for that, because we had all sorts of stuff that wasn't working. The building is over 100 years old, so you can imagine, and we are also blessed that we do not have to pay for the building. That was given to us by the Blocks family for us to do our business. So Bermuda has really come through for us. Now, most of our volunteers are foreign. They're wives of
they have the time to be able to.
Yes. So they have the time, but even if someone can come and give us an hour, we would appreciate it. We would really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, I know that Terri and I will be pushing this conversation forward, and because we are very much to giving back, and I know that at some point we will try and squeeze ourselves in there to help, but because it does sound like you need some volunteers. So I have friends that, as well as these ladies that are, free to not have to work. Go donate some time. You have enough time, go, because idle hands. So go down there, give time and get it started. But I do want to say thank you for waking up bright and early to extend, give the audience this message. It needs to be out there. I know, like ourselves, well, myself and Terri, we didn't know that it was to this extent how much help Bermuda needs. So I just want to thank you on behalf of Bermuda for putting in this work. And we hope you do have a great day, and we will be, hopefully getting you back to have this message spread across.
Thank you for having me. And there's one other thing I need to say.
Absolutely.
And I'll make it quick. If anyone needs to donate, they can donate to HSBC. Our account number is 006 053 177 001. You can find us at habitat.bermuda, the whole word written out, at gmail.com. And our website is habitat.bm. Now, I noticed online that there is another website on there. If you look for Habitat Bermuda, do not go to that site. It is not us. I even tried it one time. I gave them $10 and it did not come back to Habitat, not our Habitat. So I have no idea who they are. They say that the address is 48 Mount Hill or something. We haven't been there in over 5 years. And the email address is a North Rock address that we haven't had in years. So don't go there. You can donate to our HSBC account, or just bring a check in to the old Blocks building. Still has Blocks written on there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you for that information, because I was going to ask, if we didn't get a chance to hear that from you, how can we contact you and how can people find out more? So definitely, folks, make sure you email them, make sure you contact them, head over to the Restore building to see how you can help. And once again, thank you so much, Ms. Sandra, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Jacky and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back after that to wrap up today's show with our Feel Good Vibe of the Day. Let us know your thoughts on today's conversation with Miss Sandra of Habitat Bermuda in the comments as we go to commercial break.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Peace House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jacky Lambert. Jack, before we get into the Feel Good Vibe, before I test your knowledge, yes, it's trivia day. What are your thoughts on, our conversation with Ms. Sandra?
I have it's unfortunate that there are people that are on our island that are going through this, especially when all you hear is the cost of living going up. And I just feel like I hope that they take everything that they can learn from the situation so that they can move forward and be able to live without the assistance, because you know how it feels to have to rely on other people. It's not the best. I hope that they get out there and they volunteer. Even like you said, even if it's an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour, go in and help with inventory, or donate some time if you need to just sit with the women and see if there's anything that you can teach them yourselves. That's something that's amazing as well. What is it? Teach a man to fish?
Yeah, teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever or something like that. I don't know the actual adage, but I do know what you're talking about. But I think it's interesting that we have the Women's Resource Center coming on tomorrow. I honestly did not know that they had a project together. So I'm going to be interested to kind of hear the other side of the Transformational Living Center. Like, okay, what are some of the programs that they actually do? Because I think this is a timely set of interviews. I will say that, because today we're talking with the people that built or helped renovate the place. And tomorrow we're going to be finding out how exactly that center is being utilized and what are the programs that they have, what help do they need, because they probably need help as well. So definitely today and tomorrow, make sure you guys, if you didn't get a chance to listen live, you can always catch the replays no matter where you're watching, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Now, Jacky, I know you're going to try to get away from the Feel Good Vibe. You can't. It is time for trivia time. I got 3 for you, and today I remember to put them in the little bubbles so they can stay on the screen, so I won't have to repeat them over and over. But here we go, sis. First one. Carrie Underwood won which season of American Idol?
4.
You're right. Oh my gosh. That was a big guess. That was a big guess, but yes.
I knew it couldn't have been 1, 2, or 3. I was actually leaning towards 5 first. So I was just like, oh, how many years ago was it? And I was trying to think of these songs that she sang. So
She was country music. And it was kind of interesting. Last night they had the country music awards. I didn't watch, but kind of cool that I picked that one.
The Oscars I don't watch. Sorry.
Speaking of another award show we don't really watch, in 2010, who became the youngest performer to win a Grammy for Album of the Year?
Little Bow Wow? No, it wasn't.
Album of the Year. No, it's not Bow Wow. It's not Bow Wow. I don't think he's won an album. I don't think he's won Album of the Year.
2010? What would that be?
I'll give you a hint. Kanye West bubbled when he bubbled. Yes, it is Taylor Swift.
Swift.
Jason Shirley got it.
I feel so bad because I actually forgot about her, but I do kind of like her music.
Misha also guessed Bow Wow. He was in Bow Wow. And Sean Swift said Miley Cyrus. I don't think she's won an Album of the Year Grammy either. But yes, it is Taylor Swift. So shout outs to Jason for getting it right. Now, the last one, this is an interesting one. It's a news article. What currency did Ireland adopt in 2002?
I'm sorry, they can be like dub plates, but you know.
It is not joke time with you today, okay? Yeah. You just can't just slide a little joke in there. I don't know if the audience is going to get it either. What currency did Ireland adopt in 2002? What are the currencies that they use over in that side of the world, people? It's kind of obvious.
I was going to say, I can't do it. It's not American. It's,
Oh my gosh, Jason said sheep. Good night to you all. The fact that none of you are guessing it lets me know that either you guys are just thinking it's that. You think the answer is too easy that it can't be that, or you just don't want to try. But it's fine because everyone else got it. Jackie, I don't understand. Jackie, where is Europe? I mean, where is Europe? Where's Ireland?
Wouldn't that be a part of the currency already?
No, every country had its own currency before.
22 kids.
Oh my gosh, Jackie. 20 years ago.
That was so long ago. Oh my God. I'm doing the meme. I'm the meme.
You are the meme. So before we get into the meme, what's with the meme? Misha did get it right, and so did Sean Smith. It's definitely yours. So yes, the meme where they do 30 years ago and you think they're talking about the 70s and they're actually talking about the 90s. Yes. You are the meme. So in addition to learning something new today, we hope Jackie has shown you that, yes, we are old.
You're old kids.
We are old kids now because when we say 30 years ago, we're talking about the 90s and the early 2000s where all of these trivia questions came from. And as always, Jackie and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the Day has you ready to make it a great one. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, which is supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you tomorrow for more feel good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.